Hello guys, welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to see what is the difference between git clone and git pull. So far, we are using git clone to clone the repository. In this lecture, we are going to see the git pull. So to demonstrate this one, I am taking the same repository. In this repository, we have 3 commits at this moment. And same 3 commits are available in the developer2 system as well. I just executed git log command and you can see 3 commits are there and these commits are updated in our remote repository. And if I check for developer1 system, this is our developer1 system, but in the developer1 system we have only 2 commits because third commit was done by the developer2 and he updated this one in the remote repository. Remote repository nothing but over here he has updated. Now I would like to get these updates to my developer1 system. For that we need to execute a command called git pull. Okay, so git pull I need to execute. Now what is the difference between git pull and git clone? In case the repository is not exist in your system, then we need to use the git clone. If we take our previous lecture, in our previous lecture, initially we have executed git clone over here. Okay, and then we have done our changes and we pushed over here. And even as a developer too also, initially he has used git clone command. Why? Because the repository itself is not exist in the local system. In case if it is not exist in the local system, then we need to go with the git clone. Whereas repository is already available, but few changes you want to pull from the remote repository. If that is the case, we need to use the git pull command. So here in my developer1 system, I have already this repository, that is Veloxy Technologies Git repo, but this is not up to date. Up to date nothing but some commits are missing in my local system. So I should execute git pull command. Let's execute git pull and we'll see what happens. And here you can see it is pulling the changes and you can see what changes it has pulled. Contact.html and this file has been changed and one insertion and one deletion. Deletion nothing but maybe we have deleted the space, empty line. That is the reason it is saying as a one deletion. Let me open the contact.html now. I have pulled it. That is the reason I could see this email in the developer1 system. And if I check git log again, this time it is going to show you, it is going to show us 3 commits rather than 2 commits. And here we have head master, origin head. This we are going to talk about more detail in the later point of time. So in our local system, current head is representing to the master nothing but for our branch. So we are going to talk about head and this mapping in later point of time, but these are the commits. And here you can see this third commit was done by the developer too. I could able to see that one, and also he has given a description that added email to contact. So this is the major difference between the git clone and git pull. I'm repeating once again, we are going to use git clone command if we want to clone the repository from the GitHub first time. Nothing but in your local system, the repository is not there and you are cloning it. Git pull we are going to use in case repository is already there, but you want to check out whether your local repository and remote repository are at the same page or not. Nothing but whatever commits we have on the remote repository, same commits are there in the local repository or not. For that purpose, we are going to do the git pull. Now let's think in another way. Assume that developer 2 is not pulled latest code from GitHub, but he has done his own changes and he is trying to push it. What happens? That we are going to see in the next lecture. Okay, that's all for this lecture and see you in the next lecture.